Hey, paisans, the time has come. On the air since 2009, the independently produced, non-FCC compliant champ of video game talk podcasting. Here comes Tiger Claw Radio. Here's your host, Critical Failure.
Welcome, everybody, to the show's Critical Failure. You're listening to Tiger Claw Radio. We took last week off because of Tigerfest. That's right. Myself, Hamrock, formerly of the Retro League, and Sendu of Light Studios, Emerald Rangers. The three of us all got a place in Virginia, and we spent a week, just short of a week, playing games and hanging out and doing some game hunting, which was it was an amazing experience. We originally had the idea a couple of years back. We went to, this was just before COVID. Hamrock and I went to MagFest, and Dirac was there as well, and we all kind of agreed the most fun part of the con was hanging out in the room. So we just kind of made our own, where that was the whole purpose, was just hanging out in the room. And I'm going to go into that in more detail because a lot of stuff happened in the subsequent week or so. But for now, let's go back to the chiptune countdown. That's right, we're still counting down the top 40 chiptunes that are played, that come from the 8-Bit Collective. The 8-Bit Collective archive has 8,000 plus songs in it, and Hamrock, like a madman, went through every single one. And here we are, counting down the top 40. So we're at 23, and this song is called Out With My Girlfriends. And it's George Michael Brower who made this one. You're listening to Tiger Claw Radio. Stick with us. I dig that one. A little pep in the step. Very nice. All right, boys and girls. So we're going to get into the Tigerfest stuff. Let's start with some of the field recordings that I made. Now, I only recorded about, I think, a collective of about 25 minutes, and it's split up into parts. So let's get through that before we start doing a recap, because I think the stuff that I made on site is going to be a little bit more accurate than my Swiss cheese memory. So let's go there now. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the field. This is being recorded on, what's today? Is today Wednesday? Wednesday. It is 10:59 a.m. This is the first morning of Tigerfest. We're in Charlestown, Virginia. We're in Charlestown, right?
Barely.
Barely?
Barely.
Okay. This won't air.
No, Charlottesville.
Charlottesville, excuse me. Charlestown is where the casino is. And we're in a beautiful Airbnb that Hamrock picked out. And I think, so it's me, Hamrock, and Sendu. And Sendu and I kind of both agree that this is like a higher class place than we had previously thought we would need. But my goodness, it's great. We've got, what would you call this? Like an L-shaped couch with
it's like a couch with a lounger.
Yeah, couch lounger. And we have a beautiful TV that appears to be wall-mounted, but it's actually just a flat-screen TV sitting loosely on a mantelpiece.
It's a bit frightening, yes.
So we had to pull it forward so we could put the HDMI cable in the back, and that was the whole thing. But the setup is great. We've got a nice sunroom here, looking out into the woods, and it's been fun. How long did we drive yesterday, you think?
I would say at least probably approaching 4 hours, if not more.
Yeah, 4 hours on the road, and we did 2 out of 7 stops. So the way this works is we're actually only 90 minutes, I think, from my house. But Hemrock set it up so that he had a tour of all the local game stores across rural Virginia. And we did 2 of them, and we're like, I'm tired. And so here we are. So we slept. We played some Steam games last night. We watched some. I know it was Game Center CX, but what was the name of the translation we watched?
So this was Retro Game Master. It's basically the English rendition of Game Center CX.
What I found funny was that the only English was like. It was more like the non-translated version with an English narrator.
Yeah, ironically, the fan-made dubs or fan-made translations, because they didn't dub it, the fan-made subtitles, those episodes, unfortunately, are often more entertaining than the official ones, because the official ones take out the visits to the game centers.
Oh.
Which you don't get in the true official English versions. It's all just about playing the game.
Weird.
Yeah. I think the game center visitation has a certain charm.
Sure.
That really enhances the show. So it's unfortunate that they decided to take it out of the English ones. But I want to say those English ones, they came out years ago.
Yeah.
I know, I want to say it was attached somehow to Kotaku, but I could be wrong about that. I think that's perhaps how I found out about it.
I dug it because I've known about that show forever, but that was the first time I actually sat down and watched it. But I have to say it was hard to pay attention because the games they were playing were games I'd never heard of.
Yes, right? I agree. And I was coming in and out of the rooms. I'm like, what game is this now?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've been watching this for 20 minutes and I don't know. But that was kind of cool. So Hemrock brought an Earthbound documentary, Mother, creation of Mother, whatever. And yesterday, that was what we were sitting down to watch. But he misplaced the DVD. And then this morning, he found it again.
Indeed. It's called Mother to Earth, The Untold Story of Earthbound.
So you actually bumped into one of the producers, right? You were telling me about that?
So I did not have the pleasure of talking to him one-on-one, but one of the producers, I want to say his first name is Christian. I'm sure if I look through here, I can find his name. But in any case, he is one of the guys who puts on ATG. Mm-hmm. And so they had a booth selling these DVDs. And to tie it all back to MagFest, I remember MagFest 2020, they were showing this, or at least an early edition of Mother to Earth on like a little CRT on the side, like in a stairwell. It was really weird. Mm-hmm. I suspect he probably didn't have permission to do that, but I was like, whatever. There was like a seat, and you had headphones, and I was like, oh, all right. I like documentaries, so I sat down. And I probably watched it for 15 or 20 minutes while I was waiting for CF and Darabka, and then once I saw them, I took the thing off and I started leaving, and then I was approached by a guy. He's like, "Hey, what did you think about that?" I was like, "Oh yeah, it was really entertaining." Or I don't quite remember what I said to him, but I'm pretty sure that was the producer.
But you didn't know it at the time.
I did not know it at the time. So I think this is like some guerrilla marketing tactic where he just had a TV and a chair and just set it up at MagFest.
Yeah, that's cool.
Impromptu, yeah.
So that appears to still be in the shrink wrap, right?
Yes. So I have yet to actually open it. I was saving it for Tigerfest. We were supposed to watch it last night, and I tucked it away in a pocket and forgot about it. And so I was
probably better off because we were all exhausted.
Oh yeah, I was out of it.
You two guys both had flu, and everybody was up like early in the morning.
Yeah, I think both Sindhu and I were up around 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
So it was a long day, and I had 2 flights. I didn't get around to getting to you guys till about 1:30 Eastern time. So I had been in the airport for 6 hours or whatever, so however long.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal. I just had some in my head, but it's gone. Oh, right. So one of the stops that we did make, because I want to make sure and get this out before I forget. I can't remember the name of it, but it was a large game showroom that's near to MagFest, right?
East Starland.
East Starland. So the big problem that I had with this place, it's a beautiful store. It really was. And it had lots of stuff, and everything was, from what I gather, pretty close to like blue ticket price, whatever it'd be on eBay, which is, take it or leave it. I think that's just how the world is now.
Yeah.
But nothing had a price tag. You had to look everything up on your phone, which was terrible. So here's the reason I want to talk about this on the air. Because we have these 2 guys, Senu and Hemrock, who have flown quite a long distance from their homes, and we went to this beautiful showroom. What games did we actually buy? What did we buy, Hemrock?
Only the best. Only the best. So I bought 2 copies of Madden for the Sega Genesis.
Madden.
Yes, Madden 93 and Madden 97. That is what I settled on. And then I also purchased Mercenaries.
I didn't realize you got 2 copies of Madden, because I got one also, which means we have
then we
3.
have 3 copies.
Yes. We also have Madden 96.
There we go.
How could we leave that behind?
Oh,
Dat Madden, my friend. All right. So that's where we're at now. The guy who was checking us out told us a story about. Okay.
Oh.
So that place had a policy where you could only buy 2 copies of any specific item, and they do it so you can't, at least from what we understand, so that you can't
corner the market,
do something weird. But the problem was that technically extended to snacks. So Sendu found they had some sparkling water that was made to look like Duff beer from The Simpsons, and he was like, "Hey, man, I'll get a case of this." But the guy was like, "You can't. You can't buy a case of the drinks," which was weird because it was arranged in a case, which is like, I don't know, but whatever. So after we got through with that, the guy explained, the last time I had to explain this, somebody was trying to buy 4 copies of Dark Souls, of all games, and when he told him about the policy, he threatened to shoot up the store. So that was pretty, I want to say funny, but I don't know if that's, more funny like Jeffrey Dahmer funny, and a little bit less like Gallagher funny. But so that happened, and now we're ready to embark. It's almost noon now, I think, right? We said it was
closer to 11.
11 o'clock. Yeah, so we played some Magic the Gathering this morning.
We did. That was a lot of fun.
Which was great.
Played a Horde mode.
Yeah.
So
watch your mouth. It's a clean show, man. Sorry, I'm kidding. Horde.
Horde, Horde.
Yes.
On that right? Yeah. And we mixed that up with Jumpstart. So if you're familiar with Magic the Gathering, you may know of this new-ish format. Came out probably circa 2019-18.
I never heard of this. It's all new to me.
So it's a Wizards of the Coast sponsored format, and obviously it's to make money for Wizards of the Coast. And the idea behind this is the packs each have 20 cards, which includes at least 1 rare, maybe a couple uncommons, a bunch of commons, a few artifacts thrown in there, plus it has land. And the idea is you pick up 2 of these Jumpstart packs, and then you can put together a 40-card deck. And I got a box of Jumpstart cards for Christmas. This was like 2, maybe 3 Christmases ago. And I kept those packs together. Of course, I opened it and I played with them, but then I put each pack in its own little plastic case, like a small plastic case. So it preserved that experience of cracking the pack once again. And so I brought some of those, and CF and I divvied up 4. He got 2, I got 2. We didn't know exactly what we were getting, and we threw those decks together. Boom, instant 40-card deck, relatively balanced, and we fought the Horde.
Yep.
And then we turned on each other, and CF won.
Hey. which was a good time.
It was.
You know, I think they had something similar, like unofficially, like forever. Didn't they call it like closed deck? You ever play closed?
Like the cube?
I'm not exactly sure what the cube is. I've heard that term, but there was a thing called closed deck play where you'd buy a starter and just play with that, and it was like $10 every time you wanted to play.
Okay, yeah, it's very similar to that then.
But I guess they've made a more balanced official version because starters were never like you'd be dealing with a 5-color deck every time. Yeah. So that was pretty neat. I actually really like that. And I think Zach is still getting ready. We're about to head out now.
Yes, I do want to make one comment about East Starland.
Oh,
because I do want to throw them a bone. I agree with CF that it was a major pain to have to look up the prices, and what was frustrating is you couldn't even use your wireless
data.
Exactly. You could not use your data plan. You had to use their Wi-Fi, and at least what I experienced, and I think even Sindhu, it was a little glitchy. Like, it was hard to get onto their Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
So you had to be on their Wi-Fi, on their website to check the prices. But the reason, again, this is where I'm throwing them a bone, is those prices fluctuate so frequently, and they're trying to maximize their profit. It would be so onerous to have to relabel like 100 games every week, because East Starland is essentially a warehouse. It is huge. It's not even like a typical store. It is a warehouse. Mm-hmm. And there were workers there who were filling online orders as we were walking around.
Didn't even notice.
So it's not the same experience you'd get in like a brick and mortar store. It's got a bigger spread. Mm-hmm. I suspect it's something maybe like DK Oldies, but you can also just walk into the warehouse and buy stuff. So I think it just saves them time and hassle, although it does add hassle to their customer. But I suspect most of their customers are online customers, so they don't.
It occurs to me it probably would be a better experience if you were targeted, like I'm going for this particular title. But that's not what we were doing.
No, we were just browsing, so we'd see all these games, and the way I browse is I'm like, okay, if it's super cheap and I kind of want it, I'm probably going to buy it.
Yeah.
But
that means you're checking every single item.
Exactly. And so they probably remember me sitting there looking at Madden games for 30 minutes. Part of that was because I was like, I want to pick up like some old school Madden games, but there's like 10 of them. I just want to buy like the 2 best ones. Or
just buy them all. No. This is not joking. This is like a viable plan. Because Madden games are what? Right? How much were they? Like $1 or $2, something like that?
Well, I think they were like $2.50.
I paid $8 and I bought 2 games. One was a Madden game, the other was Tetris Worlds for Xbox. So not a lot.
Sure. One
viable option would just be to buy them all, see which one you like better, take the remaining ones and do something with them. Throw them in the junk box or
sure.
Go back to one of the stores in the list and be like, hey man, you guys want some Madden? You can just take them. Just keep them.
It's also a cost of time.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
It would take a lot of time to really get into them. It's like, okay, this one is slightly better than that one. Oh, this one's horrible. Oh, this one's the best, but I had to play through the season and do all this trading and this and that.
I know I've asked you this before, but do you like have an interest in football at all?
More so when I was younger,
okay.
But I was feeling nostalgic perhaps.
Okay. I don't at all, but I'm interested in the XFL. So that's got me into it a little bit more.
I gotcha.
So I think my dream game would be like a modded version of Madden with the XFL roster.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's all I have for now. I'm kind of wondering how this is going to come out because there's a lot of echo in this room. But yeah, we still got, it's Wednesday, so we have today and tomorrow, and then we leave the next day. It's a lot of shenanigans that can happen in that amount of time.
Indeed.
I ate an entire pizza last night, which was, I'm still feeling that.
That was good pizza.
It was.
I mean, granted, it was Domino's, but it was good. I hadn't had Domino's in a while.
Do you not like Domino's?
No, I do. I do like it. I just hadn't had it in a while. So.
Same.
So it kind of hit this sweet spot for me. I was really, really hankering for some pizza last night.
Yeah.
It did the job.
So it did the job?
It did it.
So I hope you're okay with me talking about this.
Go ahead. I know what you're probably going to say.
The vegetables, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So old Hemrock here, he doesn't show his face. I didn't take a picture. Although it occurs to me I could have just taken a picture of the pizza, and that'd probably been okay. But after we got the pizza, we went to the grocery store to get a couple things. It's an Airbnb, so it's not like we have, a concierge or something.
Yeah, no food here.
So he bought some vegetables to add to the pizza. And what did you go with? What was it?
I went with black olives. I bought a small can of black olives.
Didn't even see the olives.
Yeah, because they were covered with, what did I buy?
Spinach.
Yes, spinach. I have tons
And
of
lots
spinach.
of it. Like a lot
It
of
goes
spinach.
really well with pizza.
I bet it did, but it looked ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't look nice, but yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it was pretty hilarious seeing because there was more spinach than there was pizza.
It's a yin and yang.
Yeah, but that was pretty cool. I had a good time. All right, I'm jumping off of here for now. I'm going to send you guys back to the studio, and I'm sure we're going to do probably at least 2 more of these because I want to get Sendu on, and I don't know what he's doing, getting cleaned up or something. Bye.
Back again in the studio. That was the big one. We checked in a couple more times, but they were brief check-ins. I think that was the only big session that we had, and I think at that moment, it was early in the morning, and we were waiting for Sendu to get up, so we did something to pass the time. I did find out that East Starland, the place that we were talking about, is like only 40 minutes away from my house. So I could, definitely see myself going back there, especially to pick up something specific. They had like tested and cleaned up systems, particularly a Japanese PS1, which I really don't want to get off of the internet just because I don't want it to go through the mail. I'd rather drive down there and pick it up so it doesn't deal with the abuse. Those old PS1s were really fragile. But that was a neat experience. I was glad we went there. All right, we're just about 21 minutes in. Usually at this point, this is where I like to thank the sponsors. It's a Patreon-sponsored program. That's why I can say whatever I want because there's no companies involved. So as a quick tip of the hat, I thank EmeraldRangers.com for making the deal to keep the lights on, and Tecmo Balls in particular for giving me a week off, being that he was the only one of the sponsors who wasn't at Tigerfest. Thank you very much, brother. And Hamrock, of course. Thank you guys so much, and I hope you're enjoying the party. With that, let's check out the next brief check-in from Tigerfest.
All right, we're back on the air for a few minutes. Weirdly enough, it's only 8:25 in the evening, and it feels, maybe, I don't know if I'm alone on this, it feels like 10 o'clock at night. Is that just me?
It's pretty dark.
Feels pretty late. Yeah, maybe should we close the windows?
That's fine.
It's up to you.
I'm gonna give it.
I'm fine with it.
You're fine with it? Okay. So we just got finished playing.
Gen.
We played Genesis on the, what is this thing called? It's the analog.
SG.
Mega SG analog machine. Gotta say, I'm pretty taken with it. I looked it up. I might want to own one day. Don't know. But our collection of Genesis games that we picked up in our travels. Played Pete Sampras Tennis, which is one of Sendu's carts that has 2 controller ports directly onto the cartridge.
Called J cards.
Called a J cart, which is something that he has been taken with just for this trip. So that's pretty cool. So he found Micro Machines. Is that just Micro Machines, or is it like Micro Machines 2 or something?
There's actually like 4 different Micro Machines, but
Right.
this one we have is Micro Machines too.
This is Micro Machines 2. Also a J cart. PAL only, I believe. Is that what your research says?
It was a PAL game, yes.
Yeah. So this, let's take a look.
It's the same. It's a tennis game.
All right, let's see. Yeah.
Not supported mode again.
Oh boy. Yeah, we're having some trouble getting it working on the main TV.
Yeah, works fine on the others. Just this random Samsung TV doesn't work.
Do you want to shuffle back in there, or should we play something else that's going to work in here as we sit in couches?
Let's just play something else.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Time Splitters again. Trying to give it another go.
I might be game for Time Splitters again.
Yeah, you can regale the audience about.
Yeah, we played. Okay, I got about 2 minutes before the alarm goes off. So we played Time Splitters on the original Xbox, and it went in my favor, which is a bit of a shock, because last several times I've tried to play an FPS with a controller, it never ends up well. I've just been a keyboard and mouse guy too long. But the scores after the Time Splitters games, I won. I didn't win every single one.
Most of them.
I think it's probably like 7 out of 10.
Probably.
I won, something like that. It's a lot. That, and I also apparently was really good at the mini games in the South Park trivia game. Oh, what is that game called?
Chef's Love Shack.
Chef's Love Shack for the Dreamcast.
Also on PlayStation.
Also on PlayStation. We played it on the Dreamcast. That was a weirdly good time.
Yeah. All the games to be great at, right?
Yep, of all the games to be great at. We also played some. Sendu brought Power Stone 2, which is pretty cool. And I think we played that for all of like 4 minutes. And we're like, yeah, I think we're done with this.
Bomberman.
Bomberman? What did we play that on? Was that Dreamcast?
Dreamcast.
Yeah, it's good times. All right. My alarm's about to go off. I don't want it to go off right in the microphone. Delete.
Let's fast forward to the next quick recording.
All right, so we're van casting at this point. So what's going on right now is we have the fabled GBA or GBC setup. We're using Pizza Boy Pro. We've all been playing Pokemon Crystal. We got in this corner, weighing in at 290 pounds.
Sorry, just wiped the floor again.
Yeah.
Kadabra's fast and strong, but cannot take a hit. You should have just sacrificed Pikachu there.
Thanks.
Sendu is winning.
He is.
Sendu's winning.
Actually, it's tied right now, 5-5.
Wow.
You think it's going to be a tie? Is that what you think? Is that your prediction?
In my heart, you're winning.
I'm probably gonna go easy on him.
You're winning. No, you're not.
Okay. Face my dreaded Pikablue.
Use Pikachu and Pikablue.
Well, I meant to take Pikachu off my party, but I forgot.
You forgot, so you have Peekaboo. And
Well,
Pikachu.
yeah, I had them both in my party.
Here, I'm gonna give you a gamble. This has 85 accuracy. It could miss.
So here's a question. If Pikablue is just a palette swipe of Pikachu based off of what they thought that other one was, what does Pikablue evolve into?
Raiblue?
Raiblue?
Who knows? Get
Don't
a
know.
Thunderstone and evolve it.
Yeah. All right, well, that's enough of this for now. We'll check back into...
Wait,
to
hold on. Oh, he nearly TKO'd Pikablue. Sorry. 6 HP left.
Yeah. Of Fury?
Can I have Cookie now?
No.
Oh, you never let me have Cookie now.
Oh, yeah, look.
You can have all those cookies.
No, those are for Alex.
No.
No, they're for
We
everybody.
agreed they were Alex.
What time is it, Cinder? What time?
124.
No, not 124. What time is it?
I don't remember.
What time is it, Hemrock?
Game time.
It's game time.
See, he did it so much better than me.
All right, back to the studio.
All right, so just to give you a little context, we were playing a ROM hack of Pokemon called Pokemon Crystal Clear, and it's a little bit more sandboxy than the normal Pokemon games. It has several regions. It's for Game Boy Color, and all of the regions are like the travel is open. You don't have to complete plot points to travel around, and it has like. Unlike regular Pokemon games, all of the Pokemon are attainable one way or the other. What else is weird about it? And there's like a lot of stuff that's really weird. And one thing we were talking about was Pikablue, which I wasn't aware of. Okay, so not Hemrock. Sendu is an absolute encyclopedia of Pokemon, which I was thoroughly impressed. And the way he explains it, I think it was Marill or Azumarill, I don't know, one of the Pokemon which showed up in the press materials before release. Nobody knew what it was, so they nicknamed it Pikablue. Well, in this game, they actually made a Pikablue, which turned out to evolve into a palette-swapped Raichu. And we all thought that was really cool. When we actually got down to battling, Sendu just dominated. Like, it was a no-contest thing, which was really weird because I had put a bunch of hours into this beforehand, and Sendu and Hemrock both like just started playing on the plane. So I don't know if I was doing something wrong, or I guess it must have been, but I got beaten pretty badly. But we discovered that the My Pizza Boy emulator that's available on Android, you can use IPs to direct connect, hopefully over long distances. We tested it while we were there, but we were still over the same network. So my hope is we can continue this and you know, have like a little ongoing Pokemon club. So now that the all that meeting is behind us, I've been practicing up again to see if I can close the gap a little bit. But we had one more quick recording to close off Tigerfest. The morning that we were packing up, and it lasted about 5 minutes. So let's go there now.
Thought you didn't want to do one this week.
Well, I mean, it's not going to come out. By the way, I have it. No, I don't know if I'm going to use it or not, but I don't know if it'll come out this week or not. But we're here, right? So this is like on location.
On location, and what state are we in? Virginia?
Or Virginia, yeah.
Yes. On the way here, we encountered many weird things. A guy who got a death threat over somebody who wanted to buy multiple copies of Dark Souls.
Of all the games to attach to that story, I think it's even funnier that it's Dark Souls.
Yeah. We encountered a high collector's game store. Everything is pristine condition and overpriced. And they have a limit of buying 2 of anything, including drinks.
Yeah, which was really weird.
Someone tried to buy 4 copies of Dark Soul, and when they said no, he threatened to kill him.
That's some nice stuff at that store, though.
Yeah, nice. At top dollar. It'd be amazing if you wanted to, start a museum or something. Or do a successful YouTube series.
Yeah, one thing I like about what we did here was people will say oh man, if I had all the games, I'd open a museum. But we actually did something. We took, 4 or 5 systems and made a teeny tiny little con. Just out of our personal hardware.
And we only had a handful of technical issues.
That's true.
Most of them were because of this place's TV. It's not good.
Right. So the analog Sega Genesis, which the model name I can never remember. What was it?
Mega SG.
Mega SG. So I think it was outputting. Okay, so what happened was the big TV that's in the family room area. That thing, we'd hook it up, and the TV would say not recognizing input. It would not say no input found. It clearly detected that something was plugged in and sending it a picture, but it wasn't able to make head or tail of it, so we couldn't play it. And we think it's because the TV was so old, and it was sending 1080p whatever, because it's it's a primo system.
And it might also be, maybe they need their special HDMI cable, but it didn't look any different besides the logo on it.
You can test that though, right? I mean, we could test that when we get back to my place.
Maybe, yeah.
If you
Yeah, we did play it a little though in Hemrock's room.
Did you use the official HDMI cable in there?
Yes, I did. Why wouldn't I? What else would I use?
I don't know. I brought a 25-foot drop HDMI cable, which turned out to be incredibly useful because the delicate situation with the television. Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, the TV, they got it leaning on a...
Yeah.
What are those called? Ledges of fireplace mantles?
Yeah, fireplace mantle thing.
It's not even hooked in or strapped up to anything. It's just leaning on it.
The upside is that TV's got to be 70 pounds.
Yeah.
So it's not going anywhere.
Part of me thinks they want us to break it, so we'll have to pay for their replacement.
What do you suppose the replacement fee would be on a TV that's clearly a decade and a half old?
$2,000. As if they'd share the real receipt with us.
Yeah. Hemrock has just joined us. He's about to go out for a run. And he has a look on his face like he was hoping I wouldn't say anything. But I am.
Hey, what's up, YouTube?
He's wearing very tight clothing. Here he goes. It's the morning of time to leave, but we got some clothes in the wash. Where all the games are packed up for the most part. We're just enjoying a quiet morning. Feels good, man.
So good.
It's a nice neighborhood. It's like a
Retirement community?
Yeah, and we're on the edge of it, so that tree strip I think is really awesome. So
Tree strip. We're right on
trees.
the hill there.
Yeah.
This Airbnb that Hemrock provided is way fancier than anything I'm used to.
Yeah, I gotta say, it's really sweet, man.
Cool. Yeah, glad we found an awesome place.
Yeah.
Worked out perhaps better than I expected.
Yeah.
Maybe a little too good. Now we're gonna go home and it's gonna feel like a downgrade.
Nah, it won't, man. You'll be all right. Hang in there.
Hang in there, person, human.
Yeah. So.
Those are the correct pronouns.
Are they the correct pronouns?
Yeah.
Yeah, person, human, I think. Yeah, I'm down with that. I'll wear the tag. It says person/human.
You all right there, buddy? Throat's starting to crack a little.
I don't know what's going on. I think it might just be the lack of sleep. Or maybe it could be the the timer has completed thing. I was doing that over and over again, and maybe it just took a toll.
It's reached the point where CF has trouble sleeping without kids screaming.
It kind of is, to be honest with you. There's like a 3-hour period before bedtime. It's really chaotic, and without it, when I lie down, my eyes are just like open. It won't close. How long are we in? We're about 5.5 minutes in. I think I'm gonna stick a fork in it.
Good old forkies.
I'll probably do this again when we're out on the road.
Sweet.
But for now, goodbyes. So that was Tigerfest in a nutshell. And I think Time Splitters was a huge takeaway that I enjoyed very much. Excuse me. Feeling fine at the beginning of Tigerfest, and then halfway through I lost my voice, and then I got home like barely able to speak. And I was greeted by the rest of my family who had also lost their voices in the subsequent time, which was very weird. But I'm feeling a lot better now. You can hear I'm still fuzzy, but whatever that is, it's just starting to come to pass, I guess. So Time Splitters was a great game, and it's running about $30 on the original Xbox for the version that we played. And I gotta say, I'm definitely gonna buy it. Not just that, but I also need to get a hold of an actual memory card. See, my original Xbox has a large hard drive inside it. So if I'm just playing just me, I can save all the saves I want, and it's never going to be a problem. But this is more like I want to be able to bring this game, just this game, and maybe a memory card as well to one of the boys' houses next time we do this. And I think memory cards for the original Xbox, I looked them up last night briefly, and they were looking just like a hair under $20. So that means it's going to be $50 for all the equipment to push this Time Splitters thing forward. But that's cool, man. I can get it one piece at a time, and I got a year to do it, so that's really cool. I also was super impressed by the Mega SG. That was really fun to play with. It looked really crisp and clear, and it was really small, which is cool. Small, but still compatible with the Sega CD, which is a point that Sandy was showing off a little bit. But I don't think personally I'm in the market for a Sega CD, but that is a feature that exists. So there it is. And the last note that I have was Pete Sampras Tennis, which was a J cart, meaning a Sega Genesis cartridge that had 2 controller ports directly on the cartridge, so you could do 4-player play. That game was actually kind of fun. It was weird, and the fourth person was computer controlled and way better than everyone else. So we went online to see if we could figure out some tips for play, and came up short. We found out this is one of the games that has no FAQ over on GameFAQs. So I don't know. I'm kind of considering doing a little bit more research and maybe writing one. But as tennis games go, fun little tennis game. Like I used to play Racket Attack a lot on the NES, back when I was like 16 or so. So it took me back to those days. Yeah, so that's it. Time Splitters, Pete Sampras Tennis, Mega SG, Tigerfest 1 goes down in the books. And with that, let's see what's going on in the fail bag.
It's time for the fail bag.
Yes, friends, it's that time for the... Okay, we're going to try that one more time. Yes, friends, it's time for the fantabulous form of entertainment we call the fail bag. Questions, comments, anything you want read on the air. It's just you here. It's just me here. Let's take advantage of this being a small, little operation. So the first place I like to check whenever we do this is Emerald Rangers. Emerald Rangers is where the new episodes come out, because we are an Emerald Ranger patiently for my browser to load. There we go. All right. Emerald Rangers. And let's see what's been posted on the site in the past week or so. PSVR 2 review from Cameron1391, as well as a Cameron's Playhouse Season 1 to get the remastered treatment. Green Phoenix, Bear in a Big House retrospective. We got Power Rangers, Dino Force, Brave King 8 revival, and we've got then Tiger Claw Radio 441. Alrighty, and there were no comments there, so let's turn over to the YouTubans to see what the YouTube folks had to say, and we'll give this a second to load here. I'm kind of afraid to pause my recording because this is an area where I typically like hit pause to try and get there, and then when I finally get in, then I have a hard time hitting record again. All right, hang on. YouTube. Oh, I started another channel, by the way, and in massive air quotes, but I wanted to say this on the air. I like professional wrestling, and the company that I watch is not WWE. I watch Impact Wrestling. So Impact Wrestling has a thing where if you join their channel, by join I mean becoming a paid subscriber, then you can watch recordings of their shows the day after they air, and they only want 99 cents to do it. So I figured, okay, I'll join. I paid the 99 cents. I like the show. But for whatever reason, my YouTube channel, Tiger Claw TV, it would not allow me to join via this channel, which was weird. But I get it because this channel is very, very old. I opened it in late 2008, so it might even predate the Google acquisition of YouTube. So there's certain things that it just acts weird with because it's so old. So I opened up one of my alternate channels called Batman's Fart, which was originally designed to just be a troll account, and I renamed it Rasselman's, and that it allowed me to subscribe from there. So I have to actually watch from that account. So I turned that into another channel. It's just going to be a dump of wrestling stuff whenever I feel like ranting about wrestling. So that's a thing. And weirdly enough, it already had 5 subscribers on it from the time that I used it as a troll account. So subscribe to Rasselman's today, or don't. It's not a big deal. All right, but that said, over on Tiger Claw TV, the main channel, the channel that matters, click stuff I haven't responded to, and got a good number of comments for last week. Let's start with Death Adder, who says, nice Carmageddon thumbnail, maybe worst driving controls of all time. I enjoyed your story about running into something special from your childhood at the thrift store. Me and, in Borat voice, my wife have been hitting up thrift stores together on a weekly basis lately. It's been a fun activity to do together. And those $1 DVDs go hard. No complete in-box copies of Earthbound yet, but I got a bunch of PlayStation 4 Call of Duties that I resold. I've been uploading my hauls to one of my alt YouTube channels. Bubble tea. Can't say I'd ever put something like that in my mouth. Lol. Sometimes one bad experience with food can put you off it for life. I had some moldy tasting Dippin' Dots ice cream back in 1996. Never again, fam. And in Borat voice, my wife won't eat banana-flavored foods because she puked up a bunch of banana-flavored medicine as a kid. That'll do it. Hey, more banana-flavored Laffy Taffy for me, fist bumps. Tigerfest sounds cool. Be sure to upload some of the Hangout to YouTube. Let those luscious brown locks of yours be seen, brother. I hope you've seen Borat, otherwise my entire comment is a wash. Much appreciated, brother. I did do a few video recordings, but they were all really short. I don't think I did enough to put together a really nice... This is the Tigerfest feature, but I'll definitely put those on YouTube so you can see them. Desm says, 16 minutes in, my wife also likes it. I'm not a huge fan of chai bubble tea. I'm not a huge fan, but I think chai bubble tea is not too bad. There you go. Intro music levels too loud. Can't hear what you say. Caveman smiley face emoticon. Sorry about that. There are settings this is still Mecha Menace. There are settings in both PS3 and PS2 hardware that can affect compatibility with PS1 games. Activision and Atari games for PS1 on PS3 game, what a mouthful, may be affected. Looking at speed loading and smoothing operations. Try turning those off. Maybe it will affect gameplay. I also noticed a weird glitch in some games using component cables on PS2. Fat hardware running PS1 games. Yes, it's very specific. overall, PS1 compatibility is awesome. I haven't tried PS1 games which didn't work on my PS2 on my PS3. I don't know if PS4 or PS5 play audio CDs. If they do, it makes you wonder why Sony didn't just throw PS1 compatibility in there. I guess you could say that not including it would be an incentive for people to use their online service to play old games or pay for the downloads outright. Yeah, I have no idea what the compatibility of the newer systems are. And as far as that old Atari collection is concerned, this is a game I played like a long time ago. I don't care enough about it to dig up a solution now, but if anybody else is trying the Activision collection on PS1, the PS1 Activision collection on a PS2 or PS3, definitely check out the options to see if there's anything that can have an effect on the gameplay. Thanks, Mecha Menace. Thanks, Desm, and thanks, Death Adder. Much appreciated all of you for checking in. And finally, we have one on my Tiger Electronics handheld video. It said, I had a Paperboy and loved it so much, but now I'm 34. I realize the steaming pile of garbage the gameplay is. Lamau. That's Turfing 88. Can't say I disagree, man. But hey, it's what we had, Do what you do. All right, let me pause this so I can cough up a lung. And that's TCR for the week. Enormous thanks to Hemrock and to Sendu for doing Tigerfest and making that a reality. And to everybody out there who's spending time listening and jamming to some chiptunes, talking to some video games, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next week.